Ryan Hudson jogs his way onto the field, followed by Michael Smith, Darren Rogers, Lee Harland and company. A small but vocal travelling band of fans to welcome them. And now the Vikings, led by Stuart Spruce, who missed last week's win at Wigan, though he's recently signed a new one-year deal. And the crowd settles down. They've been on their feet since Steve-O Clarkey and Dave Hadfield walked around the field. Steve-O, welcome back to the commentary booth. A wonderful reception for you. The end of a long fortnight, and now a great game to watch.
Certainly is, and I'm sure these players will be a lot faster than what we have been doing over the last fortnight. But great reception, and let's hope that this guy has a top-class game. Give them plenty of room, as both these sides have got plenty of class and quality.
Well, lots of happiness around the ground this evening, but also it is tinged with sadness this occasion, because we have learnt of the death of Lady Pauline Ashley, who is the wife of the patron of the Widnes Vikings Club, Lord Ashley. She died suddenly on Monday, and the players and fans here will stand now for a minute's silence as a mark of respect for Lady Ashley. A minute's mark of respect for Lady Pauline Ashley, who died on Monday, and Steve-O's colleagues, the backup team from the Outward Bound Rugby League Trek, taking their seats in the stadium, waiting for an important game, and it is a vital match for these two sides. So, sun streaming down, glorious evening in Cheshire, that's where we are, and it is Jules O'Neill who gets the game underway. High kick-off, underneath it Mitch Healey, ball tipped inside to Damien Gibson. First tackle, well, half finished off by Robert Relf, completely finished off by Julian O'Neill, and he now is Andy Lynch for the Castleford Tigers. They have first use of the football. Michael Smith and Widnes eager to get into the faces of the Castleford players as they try to work this ball outside their own half of the field. Kicking early in the tackle count, Ryan Hudson. Ball bouncing and bobbling into the arms of Stuart Spruce.
Both these sides realise, Eddie, that they have to win tonight so they can gain that confidence to be realistic chances in the playoff, the top six. We had Neil Kelly walking with us this morning, and he was extremely confident. Said they've been training exceptionally well.
2-2 at the Shea after 20 minutes. Halifax and Wakefield. Battle of the two clubs at the foot of the table. Here is Robert Relf. This is all about playoffs. Oh, what a shoulder charge on Michael Smith.
He felt that as well. Got up a little groggy. Big fella, Robert Relf. They mean business, don't they? And this guy does too.
Sheridan cut down by an important tackle by Ryan Hudson. Here is Andy Hay looping past to Shane Millard. And Millard just attacking the line, then floating the kick out wide. Looking for the winger there, but Frame and Potter just couldn't get to it. It was well claimed by Waine Pryce.
Super take as well. Under pressure there. But you could see with the run from the big prop forward, Robert Relf, that this Widnes side, they're going to prove to their own fans that their win last week was no fluke.
Well, there's always a little element of doubt when you see a team play so well against one of the big boys like Wigan, whether they can follow it up, whether it would take too much out of them. But Widnes have started brightly here, and Castleford, another kick down the line, picked up here by the winger Paul Devlin.
Well, a great take by Waine Pryce. I thought he was taken out. It should really have been a penalty. Either way, Castleford have got into a good position. So important, the kick and chase.
This is Millard, he gets the ball away. They're offside though, Castleford. Moved up too quickly, Deon Bird took the pass, but they'd strayed offside.
Good work by Robert Connolly, the official, as well. He was shouting out to them, get back. He allowed the advantage. It's been a clean break, let play on. And both these outfits so eager to get into the face. They realise that both sides have got the talent to break through, especially with the big fella Michael Smith for Castleford.
And this fella Robert Relf for the Widnes Vikings, who didn't like the attention he was receiving then from Lee Harland.
Interesting to see how this Castleford halfback, John Hepworth and Mitch Healey combine. Remember, Jules O'Neill and Ryan Sheridan, they've been playing wonderful football.
This is Daniel Frame, they spin him around and haul him to the deck. Now then it's with Jules O'Neill. If it was ever going to be a match that he played well, it would have been last week against Widnes. He has to try and follow that up now. And here he is. They've lost the momentum though, Widnes, because they were pushing the ball between the hands there, and O'Neill just taking a few metres back. But here comes Sheridan. Now it's with Stuart Spruce. He's away from Healey, but Johnson is there. Quick play the ball. It's Millard. It's Devlin. It's good defence from Castleford.
That'll be the turnover. Good play though by Widnes. Millard took the short side. Millard only took advantage there, but that was great by Paul Mellor. He stood strong and big, which he certainly is.
Well, Castleford's only win in the last 8 games
came
was that a
against the bottom two. That looked a bit dodgy. Robert Connolly, the official, said
you never come back the 10, yes.
Never got back the 10, but
penalised for offside here. Widnes.
Collision from Robert Relf there. Whoa!
Well, he's already put the shoulder into Michael Smith, hasn't he? That was legal enough.
What about this one? Let's see. Yep, nothing wrong with that. He's on a mission, Robert Relf.
He hasn't missed a match since joining from the North Queensland Cowboys in February 2002, Robert Relf. What a servant he's been. This, meanwhile, is Andy Lynch. I was going to say, and in fact I was saying, that Castleford have only won twice in the last 8, and they've come against the bottom 2 who are meeting tonight, Halifax and Wakefield. This is Michael Smith, first real foray into the Widnes half of the field. Hudson is the dummy half, and here now is Dale Fritz. Julian O'Neill to him quickly with Shane Millard, and this now is Hudson. Gets the pass away to Mellor. Good driving defence from Millard again, but he got the ball to Gibson, and here is Mitch Healey. And Healey trying to straighten it up, offloads it to Fritz again. Julian O'Neill gets to him and scrags him to the floor. That's the last tackle. This is Hudson. Here is Healey. Crossfield kick coming up. There's a test for Dan Potter. Waine Pryce is out there. Potter, though, collects it cleanly.
Great take. Did well. Waine Pryce kept away from him. Didn't run the risk of giving away a penalty like we saw earlier. Take the man while he's in the air. Pretty strong defences on both sides.
Well, this is the record that these two sides have over the past 30 years. And here at Widnes, they have done remarkably well, but in Super League it's honours even. They weren't in Super League for 6 years, of course, were at Widnes. Castleford aiming for their first away win on this ground since August 1994.
Okay. Heads in, guys, loose forward, heads into the ball's out.
Pretty good sliding defence there we saw from Castleford. No real clean break from either side as yet. Shows you the strength.
This is Healey.
Oh, that was Forderman.
And the referee agrees with you. And that's a blunder by Mitch Healey.
Well, he shakes his head, but I can assure you the official has got it right. See how he just dummied slightly. And that meant that the pass, John Hepworth, was always going to be forward. Very rare, of course, but a deliberate forward pass like that can result in a penalty. Not often utilised, but they can penalise the officials.
Okay.
Spruce takes the first tackle this set of 6, and here is Andy Hay taking on Johnson. Andy Johnson wins that particular battle. It's Millard to Julian O'Neill, driving it forward, looking to offload, can't do so because of the attention of Hudson round the ankles and Lynch round the shoulders. Millard, offside again, Castleford.
Will they take the quick one? McCurrie wants it, but he's been called back. Sure, they'll go for the 2 points. With both defences extremely strong, you've got to take the opportunities of making the scoreboard click. There's a man that was defending, Michael Smith, has had a pretty good season. So is this fella.
Yes, Jules O'Neill. He rejoined in April. He's played and scored in all 16 for Neil Kelly. And Neil Kelly taking the gamble on taking on the enfant terrible of the Super League, Mr. O'Neill. But he has certainly settled himself down, hasn't he?
It was a great buy, wasn't it, from Wigan? Got all the skills. Great provider, of course, and has the ability to step off either foot. As I mentioned earlier, his combination with Ryan Sheridan, who last week I thought Ryan Sheridan got back to his best, one of the best games I've seen him play for a very, very long time.
Well, this penalty is bang in front, as you can see, and just over 30 metres away from the line. And O'Neill is taking his time. Second on the Super League goal charts, by the way. He's 9 behind Paul Deacon. 78 goals so far. Will this be number 79? This for the lead. And he has missed it. Well, that could be very costly at the end of the night. Widnes 0, Castleford 0. And just a word about a former Castleford favourite, Tawera Nikau, and dreadful news that came in from New Zealand earlier on today. Tawera apparently was injured in a motorcycle accident in New Zealand in June, and well, he has had to have the lower part of leg amputated, and that is absolutely dreadful news for him. He has had a tragic time of it recently, and if he is watching back home in New Zealand, we send him from Sky Sports all our good wishes for a speedy recovery, and let's hope that he's able to pick himself up, because it really has been awful for him just lately.
Certainly has. We had over 100 Warrington fans walk with us this morning, and every single one of them came up and said, if you could just send the wishes down to New Zealand. We've done that. Hope for a speedy recovery.
Forward pass here against Widnes.
Line ball. Just the way that the official sees it.
Wakefield at 10-4 up at Halifax after half an hour. I think I'm right in saying if Halifax lose there, they're just about confirmed as relegation certainties, although that has been the belief in the Super League for a long, long time. This is Mellor. Wrestled to the ground by 2 in the end. McCurrie was one of them, O'Neill was the other. Hudson to Hepworth. Back to Smith, good movement, Rogers. Hudson waits at dummy half again. Here is Healey. Healey gives it width to Mellor, and Hughes is all over him. And with help from Millard, he's brought to ground. Last tackle here, this set of 6 for Castleford. Healey with a dab over the top, and that will run dead in goal. It's a tap restart on the 20-metre mark for Widnes.
Wasted effort.
Graham Steadman.
Wasted effort, and the coach would be not too pleased about that. Clarkie, you're on the sideline. I know your feet are hurting, but it's pretty tough out there, isn't it?
Yeah, very impressed with the start that Widnes have made. You know, the performance and the victory over Wigan last week was probably their best win in the last 10 years. And you really got to put that into context. They only came up into this league last season after playing in the division below for 7 years. And all of a sudden, they've done very well to form themselves as a mid-table team. They're going to win a penalty here that should put them back onto the attack. What they're trying to do now is to break into the top half and on a consistent basis. I'm fascinated to see how they're going to play here tonight. They proved what a good side they were to beat Wigan last week. Can they back it up and do it again? That's what they'll have to do in the remaining games this season if they want to feature in the exciting playoff games.
Third Widnes penalty for stealing the ball in a 2-man tackle. Here is Robert Relf, driving it in again. An opportunity here for Widnes then to press home that territorial advantage that you saw that they have had. Here is Julian O'Neill, the prop forward. getting them to within 8 metres. Millard, Relf again, big hit by Fritz. Relf continues it on though. Millard waits at dummy half. That's the try line. Back it goes to Jules O'Neill. Goes wide to Daniel Frame. Step from Frame. Good defence from Hepworth.
Had to be as well. Step off the right foot. Looked as though he was over the try line.
O'Neill to Sheridan. Sheridan to Millard. Millard releases the pass, and it's gathered in by the Widnes man.
Went backwards.
Spruce it is who has it. It's on the last. It's Sheridan. Sheridan with a kick to the in-goal area. Mellor with work to do, and he does it.
Now there was Adam Hughes taken out in the in-goal area. Certainly was one taken out again. Well, Rogers perhaps didn't move. If he had, maybe the official would have given the penalty there.
Oh, stolen by Daniel Frame.
2 on 1. Just got assistance from the touch judge. And with the new technology, it certainly has helped.
Well, 2 on, you see, even though he's moved away at that stage, it is still a 2-man tackle. Even though McCurrie had moved away as the ball is stolen, it is still regarded as a 2-man tackle. He's involved, McCurrie, in the melee.
Yep. Even if he doesn't get a hand on the man carrying the football, if he touches the man in front of him from his own side, then it's still 2 on 1.
Interesting that ball stealing is almost a mirror of what happened at Wigan last week, when Adrian Lamb thought he had scored, and we all know what happened after that. Here is Hudson. Now it's Dale Fritz. Castleford have weathered the early storm here after 14 minutes.
Both sides a little bit like boxers, they're just sparring with each other. No one frightened, just a little bit frightened to do something a little bit different. A lot of one-out football so far.
This is Hepworth. Now it's Hudson and Healey. And Healey pops it up for Michael Smith. Needs strong defence from Widnes here, and it was there.
Good idea, but Smith had already put the brakes on.
Ball is released and it's play on. It went backwards. Hudson to Johnson. Still on the last tackle, says the referee. There's the kick to Rogers. Rogers spinning, dabbing it forward, and it's gobbled up in defence by Shane Millard.
Body on the line. Rogers really had no other option. Found himself away down the middle of the pitch. Millard, alert as ever. Had a great season. Rogers trying to get the foot wall, but look how eager the hooker Shane Millard was on that occasion. Stedman none to impress.
Yes, that was his reaction. The opportunity going begging. They did well to keep the ball alive for as long as they did, though. Widnes recorded their first ever Super League win against Castleford, by the way, at the Jungle last year. In round 2, it was 31-24 that day, and then they won here 26-20 last June.
40.
Ryan Sheridan with the kick downfield. Damien Gibson collects it on the fly. He'll run it back. Hit by O'Neill. Pryce to Rogers. Quick play of the ball there from Castleford, just catching Widnes on the back foot. Rogers now gets to his feet, plays it to Waine Pryce. Pryce trying to go up the middle, looked over the shoulder, nobody there in support.
Good
Hudson.
work by the first and second markers from this Widnes outfit. Oh, that's flicked out well, and that's forward, surely.
Yes, it is. Call from the touch judge far side.
Eagar Beavers, the official tonight. Got it spot on every occasion. This new system, Eddie, is working. It was always going forward there from Ryan Hudson.
And Michael Smith thought he was away. Look.
Prop forwards don't often get so much open space, do they?
Let's have a minute, please. Let's have a word with him.
And the referee having a word with Robert Relf and Lee Harland.
Listen, quieten it. Less of it, okay? Both here. Otherwise, I'll put you down the tunnel, okay? On the bench. Quieten it.
Boy, he's fired up, isn't he?
Heads in, heads in.
Mr. Relf.
Sheridan feeds, ball comes out the scrum, but Castleford had all broken, and they've got to stay in the scrum until the ball clears, and they didn't. They did well here, Widnes. They held it up behind the feet of Daniel Frame.
Well, it's a lack of discipline. Graham Steadman will have plenty to say about this at half-time. He'll be happy with the scoreline as it is because they're giving away far too many penalties of Castleford.
Relf, and on the angled run is Jules O'Neill. On it goes then to Julian O'Neill. And O'Neill gets it away to Sheridan before he falls. Sheridan back to Andy Hay. And Andy Hay wants at Castleford. Andy Hay pulled down by Mellor.
Beautiful step and dummy.
Millard.
Through.
Oh, he's into touch, Devlin.
Great defence. They've worked the blind side quite a few times already of Widnes. And that man Millard thought that he got them away. Good work from Hay. But watch this slide in defence. As soon as he goes on the blind, go across. Great work from Paul Mellor and Damien Gibson.
Touches could see as well, okay? Touches you just said, keep it out. All right. In you go.
Referee having a word with the two scrum halves who are having a bit of a go at each other as well. Sheridan and Healey, who feeds the scrum for Castleford. Here is Andy Johnson, framed quickly out of the base of the scrum to tackle him.
Lots of pretty heavy contact there, as you can see. They're getting into it. Both sides having plenty to say.
Well, it's a crucial match for both of these clubs. Absolutely crucial. And people believe, Steve-O, that if Castleford lose this, they will struggle to get into the six. If Widnes win, they think they will make fifth or better.
I agree with you.
That's the belief, anyway.
No doubt about that. They've got to build their confidence, but look at the way that this Widnes defence is getting into them.
Hepworth felt that tackle from Millard.
It's boiling over this, Eddie.
That's a great dip over the top. Rogers is after it. Oh, and Spruce did well. Tons of experience there from Stuart Spruce. Just waited.
Ice in his veins there. Never made a step through. Good work by Devlin. Quick play the ball here. Oh, he's got to be penalised. Lynch all over him. It happens every week. Maybe one day it'll get through to the grey matter. And yet again, Graham Steadman has to get the message out to the Tigers. Will you stop giving away silly penalties? They'll run out of steam, will the Tigers, because they're having to do so much tackling.
Well, you do say, don't you, that some of the coaches actually coach this business of turtling and messing around at the play the ball to slow the opposition down.
Well, they won't admit it. But why do we see by every club every week? Well, most clubs anyway.
Here is O'Neill, and short ball to Steve McCurrie.
That's a way to come onto it at full speed, but that again is great defence.
O'Neill will go the short side, then pops the ball back. This is Dan Potter, and he then finds Sheridan.
What a tackle from Fritz.
It's a penalty again.
Captain.
Well, he's got to have a talk to him.
Tell the captain, please. There's too much interference for the play of the ball, right? They were getting up to play the ball, and he came in again, hit Mitch Healey, interfered to play the ball. So he plays with a final warning. Away you go. Away you go.
Sheridan didn't regain his feet, so it really should have been penalty the other way around. I know he was all over the top of the little halfback.
Let's clean this ruck up, guys.
Mitch Healey. Now, what can Graham Steadman do about this? It is becoming a huge problem. And yet again, they'll be quite pleased. He won't be, Neil Kelly. All up possession, still haven't got a point on the board.
Well, they might put that to rights here because Jules O'Neill with his second penalty attempt of the evening coming up. There is Graham Steadman, high up in the stand here, the main stand at the Halton Stadium. Watching on as O'Neill lines up his sights here. He played 24 out of 28 weekly rounds in Super League for Wigan last year, Jules O'Neill. There's the first point of the night, courtesy of the boot of the Australian international. Got one cap in the Super League year of 1997 down under, Jules O'Neill. And he's a real hero in this part of the world, let me tell you.
Well, they're happy. They're a little bit frustrated at the fact that all the ball, good field position, 2 points.
Not much reward though, Clarkey, for all that pressure, is it?
No, there isn't, although you probably say coaches look at energy levels and they've got to be more energy used and expended in the Castleford side. The defensive work they've had to do a lot of that also in their own half. I'm really impressed with Widnes. They've carried the confidence, the enthusiasm and the desire from the win at Wigan last week into this game. They play with the speed and intensity at which Castleford can't match at present.
Well, Castleford were all offside down this left-hand side.
Clear.
They are out wide, but McCurrie is going up the middle. 22-4, Wakefield against Halifax at half-time at the Shea. Halifax, it has been a dreadful season. They will be glad to see the back of it. Sheridan drifts the kick through, but straight into the arms of Rogers, who then pops it back to Waine Pryce. Oh, Pryce is almost through, and Deon Bird with a good tackle, an important one as well. This is Gibson. Mellor. Good defence from Devlin. Gibson. This is Dale Fritz.
This game played at ferocious speed.
Okay.
Hudson to Andy Lynch. Andy Lynch, great ball to Andy Johnson, and Johnson has got support from Healey. Healey brilliantly picked up one-handed, and Devlin and the referee collided behind him. They both took an almighty tumble. This will be a try to Castleford. Mitch Healey with the try. And as Devlin was trying to run back to get hold of Mitch Healey, he collided with referee Bob Connolly, and they went down in a heap.
Good break from Andy Johnson. Beautiful little offload there. You could see they were going into the angle, and Jules O'Neill couldn't get a big hit on. Back on the inside from Johnson and Healey. First real break. This is a referee getting knocked. I don't think that Paul Devlin would have got anywhere near it, but it was one heck of a collision, wasn't it? I hope Robert Connolly is pretty fit, which they are these days. Good job. But look at the good work here. Johnson waited, made sure that Stuart Spruce was committed against the tide, but they count. Take your chances. Big grin on the face.
Well, he's got a smile on his face, Bob Connolly. It was the best tackle of the night. Oh, dear. Good on him, Bob Connolly. Saw the funny side of it. I don't think Paul Devlin nor the Widnes fans do, having said that. But Mitch Healey with the try. That's his first try of the year. And here he is now trying to improve matters. There's no Danny Orr, there's no Waine Bartrim. So Mitch Healey with the kicking responsibility tonight. And Healey, well, he's plonked that ball into one of the neighbours' gardens behind that empty end here at the Holton Stadium. Castleford ahead 6-2.
Look at that, Lynch just pulls him away, frame gets into the situation, bang. Julian O'Neill off balance, can't get away, a good tackle there. He did well to commit the fullback Stuart Spruce. It was an easy run in for this fella.
Well, after all that pressure from Widnes, it's first blood on the try sheet to Castleford Tigers. O'Neill with the kick-off, high and hanging. Healey, the try scorer, underneath it. Here is Damien Gibson for the Tigers. There's never going to be a foregone conclusion this match. So much at stake for these two sides in terms of the playoffs. And Andy Lynch, he really is one of the form forwards of the competition this year. A new 2-year extension of his contract has already been signed. Michael Smith, great strength again.
It's amazing what a try can just do for your side. Up until that point, the Tigers a little bit reluctant to do anything special, just using their sheer strength to try to break through this Widnes defence. But now they've done that on one occasion, and they're sure that the Tigers will be full of confidence. They'll try a little bit more now.
Good solid defence against Paul Devlin. Here is Adam Hughes, tries to brush away from Godwin. 6 breaks by Castleford, 1 by Widnes, just shows you. Despite the overwhelming advantage in terms of territory, it's been Castleford who have made the breaks. At least that's what the stats say. You're shaking your head, Steve-O.
Oh, I must be watching the wrong game.
Well, that's been said a few times before.
Too true.
Millard. O'Neill.
Offside.
Long kick downfield. And, well, Gibson is allowing it to run over the dead ball line, which he does.
On the whistle.
Key figure to this Widnes outfit, Jules O'Neill. But up until now, the opposition have kept the two halfbacks, O'Neill and Sheridan, pretty quiet.
Godwin. And that was good play by Harland, and he was on one knee, thought about releasing the ball, but suddenly they are very brisk, the Tigers. Healey, wide it comes to Mellor. He goes inside Aaron Hughes. And Hughes comes back for a second snap at him with a little bit of help from Ryan Sheridan. Johnson on halfway, Healey. Here is Lynch again. Another little break from Lynch. Non-tackle Lynch. Gets up and carries on. O'Neill with the tackle.
Great play from the prop forward.
And now a penalty.
You pulled his leg again, Julian. Yes, you did.
I think they might take the two here.
Oh, they will. Second snatch. 6-2. They've got to good position. Centre of the field. When they look to be coasting and getting the upper hand. But that break from Andy Johnson that produced the Healey try. Oh, talk about recharging the batteries. It's the Tigers that they've got the claws out.
They have indeed, and this kick from Mitch Healey to give them an 8-2 lead. Widnes 9th in the table. They're 1 point behind 6th placed Warrington. Remember, they were bottom and without a point after the first 4 rounds. But Castleford Tigers just tucked in behind at Warrington in the table. And what a prize victory this would be for Castleford if they won here. Neil Kelly makes another little note in his book. He will want to get at his charges at half-time. Healey then with this penalty attempt. No problems for the Australian. 34 years of age. He's only missed 2 last year. And the Tigers supporters, not hundreds of thousands of them, but they are encouraged by what they have seen.
Left to right.
And good play by Castleford. They weathered the storm. Remember, they were giving away so many silly penalties. Just handing the possession back to Widnes. Full credit to them. They have dug in deep.
Wait. Well done, Shane.
Well, the Widnes sequence over the past 9 matches has been win 1 week, lose the next. They won last week at Wigan, of course, and they are after their consecutive victory for the first time in 3 months. But at the moment they have a 6-point deficit to make up, and we're about half an hour into this match. And here is Godwin. His appearance on the field means that Ryan Hudson, who's in there at dummy half now, has just got a little bit more freedom. It's a kick down centre field, and Spruce will be after this. And they give it to Dan Potter.
Good chase.
Led by Hepworth.
Not only was it good, it was on the arc, forcing him onto one position of the field.
Graham Steadman, he said yesterday that the mood in the camp was good, despite the fact that Danny Orr was not going to be here. Farrell did well to keep hold of that.
It's half a metre forward as well, as far as I'm concerned.
Millard, here's Relf, and it goes wide to Finnigan. Millard to O'Neill, and back it goes to Deon Bird. Now, a little bit of open ground for Bird to exploit maybe, but it's quickly closed by Godwin. Here is Sheridan, it's on the lash, so there's the kick, it's high, and it's out towards Gibson's wing. And he got to it, Hughes, it went backwards round the corner from Andy Hay. Devlin, but I think the referee will take a look at the video referee, will he? Yes, he'll hand it on to Jeff Bennett to check how the ball came back into Widnes' arms. But Devlin thinks that he has scored.
It was a Widnes player that leaped high. I think it was Hughes, and it is. Now then, that's going backwards. That's okay. Hay did very well indeed. Flipped around the corner. There was no one at home. Came off the boot. It was going backwards anyway. This is no knock on. This will be TRY, and you can see there that Paul Mellor had gone in to try to stop him. Devlin at the open space. There'll be no problems in my mind. It'll be TRY, and listen to this crowd when it comes on the screen.
They're already celebrating, and they're just checking here that he's onside.
Which he
is. Both of them, Hughes
yeah.
and Devlin.
You can see he's well behind.
Well, they've all watched the big screen here at the Halton Stadium, the Widnes fans. They've already started celebrating. Jeff Berry is the video referee tonight. He has to give the OK.
What you can see is behind him. Sheridan's boot is just in front. Sit back, listen to this.
Widnes get the try. Devlin, the 22-year-old who's in the Irish squad for the European Championships later this year. And he's got a try in his last 2 home games and 3 of the last 4 here. He's now got another.
What a mess. Too many cooks spoiling the broth. 3 were there. No one really went for it. And soon as Mellor got involved, it was always going to be a try. Good work by Hay and Devlin. That's what they needed. That's what they've been searching for. It was a great high kick from Ryan Sheridan. But what on earth was the Castleford defence doing there? 3-1, turns out 4 against.
Devlin with the try then for Widnes. Just what Neil Kelly would have wanted. Now this is a difficult conversion attempt coming up from Jules O'Neill because of the angle that he has. There it is. He's only about 20 metres away, but it's the angle that is crucial. 20 metres away from the try line, that is. The angle to the post, though, is what makes this such a difficult kick. Study and concentration. Can he level the scores? Just the wrong side of the uprights. 8-6, Castleford still ahead then.
3 going for the same ball. You can see there, there's only 1 man going high, and that's Hughes. And they have paid the price big time. Great play.
Mr. Hepworth, Toaster said just watch your 10 metres, please.
Devlin is the man who scored it. 2 tries against Leeds in a 29-14 win here a few weeks ago. Hepworth restarts then for the Tigers. Deep to the Widnes try line, and Frame will run the ball back. 8-6 Castleford. Phil, for a reflection.
Yeah, it is, I'd say, so far. Do you know, I'd just go back to last week's performance, and Widnes are becoming a prolific team at scoring from kicks. They get good field position. Remember, 2 of the tries in the JJB Stadium against Wigan came from that sort of strategy. And now they're going to have another chance to attack the Castleford line, because Castleford are going to be down, I think, to 12 men. I think Mitch Healey now sent to the sin bin. Interference again around the play of the ball. It's going to be now with just over 6.5 minutes to half-time. A fantastic time now with which Widnes can attack the Castleford. 12 players remaining on the field.
Yes, Healey's in the sin bin, and that's a blow for Castleford. No Danny Orr out there now, no Mitch Healey either. So here's a glorious opportunity for Widnes to capitalise against the 12 men.
Well, look at the penalties there. Castleford really have got to smarten themselves up. More discipline.
This is Anthony Farrell, halted by Harland and Michael Smith. Millard and Jules O'Neill. Stuttering run, gets it away to Finnigan. Important tackle by Hepworth. Here's O'Neill again. Now it's with Daniel Frame. Frame attacking the line. Offloads the ball. Oh! Millard wasn't watching, and Michael Smith was. Millard was setting for the play the ball that never came.
Well, he thought the tackle was committed, but they offloaded there. You must always keep your eye on the ball. That surprises me. Player of the month. And he's turned his head.
Well, on Boots and All on Wednesday, we make a return on Sky Sports 3 at 8:30. We've got all the reports, highlights and analysis from this weekend, both here in this country and in Australia. And there will be a special video diary of the Rugby League trek. And that's something I'm sure that everyone will want to see. There will be some home truths told in that. It's not boots and all. On Wednesday, it's warts and all. Here's Deon. Good tackle by Wayne Godwin. 5 to half-time, important stage of the match here. And Castleford down to 12 men, remember. With Andy Hay here, Widnes.
Nearly got away there. Hudson just half hit him.
This is Sheridan. Just delayed and didn't give the pass away. Ooh, Michael Smith all over the top. Could have been penalised for a flop. This is Millard. Millard back to Jules O'Neill. Pops it back to Daniel Frame. And Frame helps it on to Andy Hay. And here is Adam Hughes. And Adam Hughes can't get away from Michael Smith. Millard on the last tackle. Jules O'Neill hoists the kick wide. This is for Potter to chase. Oh, Pryce has dropped it. He went backwards. That was lucky. And Eagar did well to hang on.
Under a lot of pressure there, Michael Eagar. Well, maybe he just got in the way of Dan Potter. Stood his ground, but it still came free. Very fortunate the Tigers there.
Building up to a very good game, this, though.
Very tense, and that's when mistakes come fast and furious.
It's almost like the playoff for the playoffs, this. Godwin, wide to Harland. Good ball then to Eagar, and a good tackle by O'Neill. Pryce on the last. Hepworth with a kick. That's charged down by Deon Bird. Who's got the speed? Rogers has. Rogers tidies up for Castleford.
Beautiful play there by Darren Rogers. Any youngster watching, notice how he put his body in between the oncoming traffic and the ball. This is the ricochet.
And it was a charge down.
Watch how Rogers makes sure he gets in between.
Here is Waine Pryce now for Castleford as they try and spring from defence to attack. Godwin will go down the short side. Gets away from Relf first time. But there were reinforcements there in the shape of Dan Potter. Hudson, Lynch. He's a dangerous prop forward who can offload the ball in the tackle is Andy Lynch.
Having a big game as well.
Last tackle here. Hudson just drifts the kick over the top. And Devlin not interested. Graham Steadman now downstairs on the sideline.
Come down, guys.
It's a dodgy pin.
Yelling an instruction out. Neil Kelly making another note in the book.
Both coaches realise it's a dodgy time. It's a couple of minutes before the half-time hooter. Important that they just keep their concentration. Not even give a penalty away. Basic rugby league football, that's what's needed.
Good scrum.
Widnes did well again. They held that ball at the base of the scrum, and Castleford also kept the discipline too. They stayed in there before it cleared. Here is Simon Finnigan. He's featured in the last 6, the former Penrith lower grader. He came to Widnes looking for a chance, and Neil Kelly's given it him. Gets to his feet, plays the ball to Millard. Here is Robert Relf. Harland did well, helped out by Hepworth.
Stopped him in his tracks. Great ball and all tackle there by the second rower.
Oh, Anthony Farrell coughs the situation up to Godwin.
That's a mistake that can come with the lack of the concentration.
This is an opportunity for Castleford. It's with Michael Smith. Michael Smith then to Andy Johnson. Andy Johnson to Paul Mellor. Mellor to Rogers. Finnigan with the tackle, but he got the ball away before he hit the deck. It's Hudson. Hudson offloads to Smith. Good play from Castleford, keeping the ball alive. It's Mellor again. And Mellor gets it away to Harland.
Oh, he took the wrong track there, or has he? Was he taken down? Did Bird take Eagar?
No, play on. And here is Spruce as Widnes try and counter. Good tackle by Ryan Hudson.
50-50, went the wrong way.
Michael, wait, that's good.
Ooh, it was pretty close.
Deon Bird will say it was perfectly timed, and by the looks of things, the referee would agree. Andy Hay now for the Vikings. Millard. 22-4, 47 minutes, they're into the second half at the Shea. Here is Jules O'Neill, tackled brilliantly by Godwin.
Just took a step back on the inside, didn't realise that he had Finnigan coming up outside him.
This is Sheridan, and Sheridan is almost through.
Just couldn't get to his feet then.
Finished off by Lynch, 20 seconds of the first half remaining. Frame dabs the kick to the in-goal area, Mellor collects it. And Mellor will get Castleford out of trouble.
Oh, great effort there by the centre, Paul Mellor.
Okay.
This should just about do it.
Rogers takes the tackle. A couple of seconds remaining. Will he have time to play it? Yes, he will. It's Gibson. And that's half-time. Keenly contested. Very keenly contested. Just one try apiece. Only 2 points in it. Graham Steadman, well, it's half a job completed, but he knows that his men have had to do a lot of work in defence, a lot of tackling, and that is strength sapping. But it was first blood to them, courtesy of the Healey try. And Mitch Healey, who is at the moment off the field and in the sin bin, has scored all 8 of the Castleford points Widnes have 6. More international rugby union for you tomorrow morning, live from Brisbane. We continue our coverage of the Tri-Nations, Australia taking on South Africa. It's on Sky Sports 1 from 10. It's half-time here at the Halton Stadium. Widnes 6, Castleford 8. Two sides desperate to get into the top 6 playoff places, and it has shown, hasn't it, in that first half. Tight as a drum. And Neil Kelly, he's made all the notes in the book, and now he's just telling them the key to victory against the Castleford Tigers. Graham Steadman well pleased, I would think. His men, of course, will start the second half down to 12, with Mitch Healey continuing his stint in the sin bin. But as you would expect from two sides so keen on making the playoff places, a really tight match. Good game, and only 2 points in it at half-time. Stuart Raper, former Wigan coach these days, former Castleford Tigers coach as well, of course.
That's correct.
So I suppose you'll be on the Tigers side tonight. They're doing well.
You know, Widnes didn't do me any favours last week, did they? So,
no, that's true.
No, you know, it is a tough game out there. It's a very tight 10 metres. Connolly's got them very tight, and you know, it's a good forward battle. You know, some of the aspects that I picked out, the interchange. Widnes have only made 2. Castleford have made 1. Everyone was going on about the interchange at the beginning of the year, and it's interesting to see the tactics of both coaches, and you know that'll be utilised in the second half with more changes to be made. But both coaches have got a lot up their sleeve, and you know I'm flabbergasted by the decision by Connolly to sin bin Healey. Whether he had warned them, but I didn't think it was consistent enough within the game to send a player to the sin bin, especially such a key player to Castleford. But Cass hung in there at the end, and you know have done quite well to come out in front.
Absolutely. Now we were mentioning in the commentary, Stuart, that you know coaches are teaching their players these days to turtle the tackled man, put him on the back, interference at the play of the ball. You're now a suspended member of the coaches union, so you can tell the truth. Well, do you teach the players?
A lot of work is done on groundwork and controlling the man before he hits the ground, dancing on the dance floor, whatever they want to call it. At the end of the day, you know, for me, I think it's the wrong way to do it. I think you've got to look at tackle technique and look at the way you defend before you do all these other, take shortcuts basically. And you know, if the British want to you know, compete with Australia at the end of the year, and they continue with coaching the players, they're going to be taking shortcuts, and they're going to find themselves falling short at the end of the season. And they do it. Every coach does it. We did a little bit of it because, you know, everyone else was doing it, so we thought we had to keep up. And at the end of the day, it's not the right tactic really to go about, I don't believe, in defence anyway.
Well, there we are. We've been saying it for about 2 or 3 months, Steve-O, and Stuart Raper agrees with us.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it, when you think that a coach will tell him to turtle and then get the sack. I suppose it just doesn't work, does it? As simple as that. But what a tight game. If you like your rugby league rough and tough, then don't go away, because this really has been some game in that first 40. Against the run of play, though, it was Castleford that scored first, and it was great work from Andy Lynch. What a first half the big prop forwards having. Johnson came at the right time. You could see O'Neill was off balance. And look how it just sucks in. Make sure that the fullback Stuart Spruce has to go for him, and Healey in for a try. Widnes, though, to their credit, they fought back, and it took a beautiful kick from Sheridan. Look how high this is, but 3-1 will not go. It'll produce 4 in a minute. Andy Hay did absolutely wonderful there. Paul Mellor out of the area, Devlin in for the try. It's one of those games, isn't it? It's tight, it's strong, but it'll be a really tough second half.
It will. You can excuse Steve-O for his casual look this evening. He's just finished the 220-mile trek. Doesn't look bad, does he, for an old boy? Let's go downstairs now to another old boy, or is it a young boy? Clarkey is also in his T-shirt. And Phil, you were saying early on that it was, you know, Widnes who were impressing you. Castleford have dug in well, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They've done remarkably well to stay within the game. When you consider just how well Widnes started the match, you can never win a game of rugby league without some of your front row forwards playing very well. Unfortunately for both teams, some of their front rows have had excellent first halves. We picked out really both Andy Lynch and Robert Relf. Robert Relf was amazing in the first 20-30 minutes of the game, really. Some of his work really taking the ball forward. He's a very powerful short player, bumping off 1 or 2 players and getting a quick play of the ball, which was essential for Widnes to get the momentum and advance forward. Also pretty hard and aggressive in defence, which was what the Widnes side needed. Conversely, really, for the Castleford side, a different style of front rower. Andy Lynch, quick play, good footwork. Here you see him making a half break, but also a player with the ability we've already seen create 1 try with a short offload. Here it is, another short pass, just tips it on to Andy Lynch. This time Lynch is tackled. those short passes are very often more dangerous than the long pass in rugby league, hence the reason why he's so highly sought after and well regarded by his teammates. Great game, very even, as you would expect, between two teams desperate to get into those top 6 places.
Indeed so. Have you spotted a man of the match performance in the first half? I hope that Clarkey, Stuart and Steve-O has, because they have the vote. Whoever is the man of the match goes home with this. That's the watch that goes to the person who has performed the best in our live matches on Sky Sports this year. OK, there's a second half to come, and there's nothing between these two sides, just 2 points. Can home advantage pay for Widnes? Well, you're in the best place to find out. Cracking match for you on Sky Sports tomorrow. It is Leeds Rhinos up at the new KC Stadium against Hull. Now, Leeds never used to like going to the old Boulevard. What would they be like on their first visit to the new stadium? Saturday 6, Sky Sports 1. And 2 matches from the NRL as per usual this year. Coming up for you this weekend. Cronulla-Brisbane is the live match in the morning. Sky Sports 2, 10:30. The Dragons and Penrith Panthers is the match on Sunday, Sky Sports 2, again at 10:30, with all the other tries scored this weekend. Half-time, Castleford just in front, 8 points to 6. Nothing in it, as you'd expect, between two sides desperate to get into those playoffs. Widnes have had 7 penalties to 3, and Castleford will start this second half with the inspirational halfback Mitch Healey, with 3.5 minutes remaining in the sin bin. Andy Lynch having a fine game for Castleford, but there is Healey cooling his heels, waiting to be given the green light by the 4th official to come on. 3.5 minutes into this second half, we shall see him.
Certainly will, and I must say that Neil Kelly has to change the tactics. You saw there on the stats list that Widnes had only run from the dummy half position on 4 occasions. When you got the quality of Shane Millard, he's got to do a little bit more from that. There he is now in the halfback position.
He shuttles it on, though, to Farrell.
2 hands away!
And once again, it's Millard, and he passes again to Robert Relf. And Millard in dummy half again. This is the 3rd in a row from him. And again, another pass back, this time to Jules O'Neill, and he goes for the 40-20. And he nearly got it, but Godwin was the man who funneled back and stopped it going over the line. Half-time news, Bill.
Eddie, Neil Kelly, the Widnes Vikings coach, is fuming. His words as he came out of that dressing room at half-time were, "I'm bored." And when I asked him what he meant, he said you need 2 sides to be out there interested in making a game of it. And at the moment, we haven't got that. A real criticism, I think, of the opposition tactics out here. Quite a complete contrast. His opposite number, Graham Steadman, is delighted with the first 40 minutes. He said the defensive effort they've put in has been heroic, given the fact that they're not getting the rub of the green. I think that is a reference to referee Robert Connolly and the way he's penalised the Castleford Tigers. So you've got 2 differing opinions there from the coaches, and Neil Kelly is hoping that this game will open up.
Well, it might do here, because this is Dan Potter. Interesting contrasting view of the match from the dressing rooms, that, Steve-O. One coach thinks it's a one-horse race, but his team are behind.
Nothing new, nothing unusual.
It's all a game of opinions, isn't it?
It certainly is, but both coaches, I can assure you, will not be deeply happy.
Widnes in possession with Daniel Frame, just inside their own half of the field. And,
Johnson gave him a right facial there.
A couple of the youngsters are on for Castleford. This is Finnigan. Craig Hubie is one, and Tom Saxton the other. 17-year-old Hubie, 19-year-old Saxton. O'Neill with the midfield bomb, and it's a tester for Rogers, but no problems whatsoever, no pressure. Now there is from Deon Bird. Wayne Pryce.
As usual, solid as a rock, Darren Rogers, whether you play him in the full-back position or on the wing. Always amazes me that, that offside.
Widnes offside, Saxton took the tackle.
Well, Robert Connolly giving his whistle a real workout tonight. Not to say that he hasn't had the opportunity, because both sides eager to get into each other. Just got off the mark a little bit too fast, but a bit like a chess game this, in the second half. And either side, I feel, the one side that decides to keep this ball alive and a little bit more effort, I think will take the spoils. But they've got to do a little bit more than just this one man out.
Here is Michael Smith. Castleford, remember, down to 12, but Healey almost back, and it's a high shot by Robert Relf.
High shot.
It's been penalised by the referee, and Castleford will go for 2 here.
Well, I'm not so sure. That looked across the shoulder on both occasions. I know it was a swinging arm.
Did you see it? On his chin.
Well, I know his head went back, but you can see that it went underneath on the chest.
Referee said it was on the chin. That's the way he saw it. That's why the penalty's given. And Healey has returned just in time. Robert Relf, the culprit, started off the first half with some big hits. Neil Kelly doesn't give much away, does he, with his expression? But Healey is back on the field, and they have the penalty attempt that Healey is going to take here. 2 from 2 tonight. And make that 3 from 3. Widnes 6, Castleford 10. And significantly for the Tigers, they're back to full strength. Healey now out of the bin, 13-13.
Well, you can see there, I don't think he went anywhere near the chin. Badly done to, I feel, the Vikings. Flat hand, no fist. Farrell didn't put one in. Cheap 2 points.
Very cheap.
Stay behind, please.
Widnes then, still behind on the scoreboard by 4. 9th in the table. Won 11 in a row at home against Castleford between 1980 and 1990. But in Super League, it's 2 wins each since the Vikings returned last year. As I said earlier, these Castleford Tigers are founder members of the summer competition, and they're aiming for their 4th tilt at the playoffs since they were introduced in 1998. It's a wonderful record they have. Well, that was high on Hudson.
Certainly looked it from Fritz. Hudson didn't like it either. That's play on. That was knocked backwards. Good refereeing there by Robert Connolly. Saw it very, very clearly. Finnigan forward.
Finnigan plays the ball to O'Neill. Yeah. Penalty. Penalty.
Oh, look at it. Because that was a forward pass. And decisions like that go your way. The Graham statement says that he's not having the rub with the green. Julian O'Neill knocked it back. That was fine.
Okay.
So here come Widnes again now in the shape of Robert Relf. 10 metres away, stopped by Michael Smith.
I think who scores next will go on to Widnes.
We're diving. We're diving.
Millard. And here is Sheridan. Pops it up to Anthony Farrell.
Took that ball standing still. You've got to move forward. So many of these big fellas do that.
Millard. Relf was on the charge. So too Daniel Frame. And Frame has plunked it down. That's a try for Daniel Frame, but the referee hasn't given it yet.
No problem about it.
Just wants to check the grounding.
Oh, but I'll bet my house on this. No problem. In full control. That's the try. In a good position though, Connolly, you can see that. But you may as well make sure this will be GRY.
Well, that was safety first by Robert Connolly, I feel. The try given to Widnes. It's 10-all. Daniel Frame, a real favourite here, ever present this year.
It came about by a set move, back on the inside. Millard went one way, flipped the ball back on the inside. Watch him go, thinks they're going this way, back on the inside. It's a simple move. And they didn't have the strength, Frame did.
Daniel Frame played under Neil Kelly at Dewsbury when they won the 2000 Northern Four Premiership, as it used to be called then, Grand Final. Now he's in Super League and a firm favourite in these parts, as is this fellow, Jules O'Neill. And from bang in front of the posts, O'Neill should give Widnes the lead again. They held it after 20 minutes, courtesy of O'Neill's boot from the penalty. This to make it 12-10 to the Vikings. 12-10 it is.
Great to see a set piece so close to the line. Millard goes one way. Look at the try scorer come back on the inside. Bang! No one really went low for the legs, and that allowed Frame the strength. Just got one push with the leg. It was sufficient to get him over.
Well, Steve-O said next to score will win it. Here is the oracle, Clarkey.
No, far too long to go. What it does show you, though, just how costly a penalty can be. The one that Castleford conceded gave Widnes the chance to get close to the Castleford line and put the try on the back of it. You've got to give a lot of credit, though, to Daniel Frame. He was just more determined than the men stood in front of him. He was going to win that individual contest with Andy Johnson, and he got through him and got the ball over the line. Very, very good start again here from Widnes. It's how they began in the first half. Neil Kelly's able to get his sides to come out and start the game, or the second half, in a very quick fashion.
O'Neill, nearly bounced off the chest of Finnigan, and he thought about going left and right with the pass. In the end, took the tackle. This is Millard. That's a run from dummy half. Oh, and Daniel Frame couldn't pick the ball up, flicked it forward. No advantage, of course, as Castleford get possession way downfield.
Well, I said just at the restart that Neil Kelly would have a little word in the ear of Shane Millard. A little bit more runs from dummy half. Did that. Took his eye off the ball at the crucial moment.
Here's some injury news, Bill.
Well, it's a problem for the Castleford Tigers, really. Damien Gibson was withdrawn at half-time. He's been sitting with ice on his right knee, and he's just out at the moment trying to stretch and warm up and looking pretty uncomfortable in actual fact, and just moving gingerly up the touchline. There he is, and just some concern as to whether he'll be able to come back, because he's a key part, certainly defensively and on the counter-attack for the Castleford Tigers.
Yet another injury in this catalogue of mounting injuries during the season. And we see Hull tomorrow, who have suffered more than most. They play the Leeds Rhinos at the KC Stadium. That's a wonderful new venue.
Talking of injuries, Mitch Healey just hobbling around there. They've used the loose forward Andy Johnson out wide amongst the three quarters to great effect, but remember, it was Johnson that run down the middle of the field that created the first try.
Last one here for Castleford, this set of six, so Healey will put the kick in, which he does under pressure there. And Wayne Pryce palms it down, and it's gobbled in by Deon Bird, but what's happened, he's allowed the ball to go, and it's Castleford in possession with Wayne Pryce, trying to jink his way to the line, and it's back to zero on the tackle count, so that's the first. Godwin, Hepworth, wide it goes to Healey, Healey then on to Hudson, Hudson wide to Mellor.
Good sliding defence, it had to be as well. Good offloads, though.
Yes, Castleford keeping the ball alive well. Not the best pass, but it's into the arms of Craig Hughes. And Jules O'Neill gets to him 10 metres away. Godwin. Hepworth on the charge again is Johnson. And the Widnes defenders were waiting for him. Here is Michael Smith now. The big Kiwi.
Good work there from Julian O'Neill. Made sure that there was no chance of the Kiwi to offload.
They're inching ever closer though, Castleford. This is Godwin. Oh, straight into the arms of Deon Bird. He was looking for Harland.
He was looking for somebody to come onto the pass, and no one came. What a wasted opportunity. Bird certainly quick. Oh, golden opportunity there. Andy Hay did everything right, but Spruce couldn't take it in.
Wakefield beating Halifax at the Shea. Here at the Hulton Stadium, Widnes holding on to a lead, but only just against Castleford. We've picked the right match tonight. It's so tight, so important as well, as Harland takes it on again for Castleford. Spins to the ground under the challenge. It was Finnigan. This is Godwin. Godwin, good run from dummy half. Gets to within 3 metres of the line. Harland waits. Here is Johnny Hepworth. Hepworth back to Michael Smith. Good defence needed by Widnes. It was there then. They have 2 more tackles to survive. Godwin, Hepworth. Hepworth along the line, and great hands from Healey to Hudson. And Hudson out the back door it goes. This is Mellor. And Mellor is tackled to the ground by Adam Hughes. Last one.
Cumberland throw there from Hughes. Great effect.
Healey with the kick to the in-goal area, and it runs dead in goal. So close. O'Neill took the gamble, allowed it to bounce in front of him, and shepherded it over the line.
Quick tap.
And here they come, Widnes.
Quick thinking. Good play by Robert Connolly as well. With the chip over the top. Knew it had the speed to get over the dead in goal line. Important now that Castleford. Oh, they put away a penalty. Well, this is becoming a huge problem. It was like that. And you can see this problem we have with this turtle. Why on earth? It was Thackeray that did that. Why on earth did they bother? Why don't they just let the tackle get back into your one line of defence?
Well, that's what they do in Australia. We've been banging on about it all year. We will have a problem when those Aussies come over in November if we're not careful.
Especially if it's an Aussie referee.
This is Anthony Farrell. Here is Julian O'Neill. Driving it in again, looking to offload. Took the tackle though, Godwin and Michael Smith. Millard to Anthony Farrell. Anthony Farrell. Three tackles gone.
Looking a bit tired, the Tigers now getting slow into their defensive line.
Sheridan gives it some width to Jules O'Neill. Back it goes to Stuart Spruce. On then to Daniel Frame. He offloads it to Jules O'Neill. And Millard tackled without the ball. Was there an obstruction there? The referee says no. It's play on. Millard down the left side to Sheridan. And Sheridan trying to worm his way over the line. Held back. That's the last tackle. Now can Millard poach one from dummy half? Will he go on his own? No, it comes back to O'Neill. And then he stabs the kick in. It's bounced perfectly. Hughes! No, he didn't ground it. Or did he? The referee will have a look.
I don't think he got it down.
Make sure.
But it was a neat kick there.
I don't
Julian O'Neill, well weighted.
Restart, please.
Ricochet all over. Hepworth got to it. I think I'll give a knock on. Yep, there's a knock on. Restart on the 20. Widnes coming back for it. I think they know as well as most people at home.
They're just looking to check where the first knock on is, Steve-O, to see where the game will restart, I think.
Well, Rogers got a boot to it. But I think it comes as a knock on. Watch Rogers get a boot to it first. Bang. 50-50. I'll go a knock on. It's no try, that's for sure.
And you would say 20-metre restart?
Yeah.
Well, Jeff Berry's the man with the buttons in control. No try. He agrees.
Right.
So close, though, for Adam Hughes.
This walk's done me good. This walk has done me good.
It has. Cleared your head.
Let's go.
I'm turning into a nice guy.
Michael Smith.
Got to give credit, though, to the Castleford defence. They stuck in there. Widnes having plenty of possession.
And here is Thackeray again.
It's important now that the Tigers get into the Widnes half so that when they do put in the kick, they can force them back so far and hopefully into the in-goal area. They've got to get repeat sets of 6.
Dale Fritz plays the ball. This is Ryan Hudson. They're in Widnes territory. It's with Hepworth. Here is Harland. Back to Hepworth. Good hands. And he does well, gets away from Bird. This is Michael Eagar. And Eagar's down the line. He's got support from Hudson. Oh, he tried to pass the ball infield. He did in the end. Waine Pryce gets it. The tackle still not completed. That's the last.
Oh, Widnes were lucky there. They just hung around. They thought it was a knock on.
Hudson with a looping pass to Mitch Healey. And Healey with a kick to the corner. And Devlin taking no chances.
Did the right thing. But this is the repeat 6 that Castleford were looking for. A little bit lucky. I thought Eagar got the ball away before he touched the touchline. And good work there by Waine Pryce. And the winger just says, let's get out of here.
Let's go.
Well, as Devlin knocked that ball touching goal, Waine Pryce needs credit for keeping that movement going. I'm noticing underneath our gantry here, Steve-O, that Phil Cantillon is warming up for Widnes. And I just wonder when Neil Kelly will play the trump card. Will he be the trump card? He was so influential last week again.
Well, I don't think it's just one, Eddie. We noted at half-time that there were very few interchanges in that first 40. And that gives the impression that both coaches are a little bit cautious about bringing them on because they're expecting their opposition to tire. But Cantillon can be a game winner. He played on the wing against Wigan for quite some time. Did a good job there.
Well, they've got bags of interchanges up their sleeves. Widnes, only 3 out of 12. This now is Ryan Hudson. That's a good run. Here is Mitch Healey. He pops the ball back. And Julian O'Neill with a grab. And he didn't like
Swinging
that, Dale
on.
Fritz. It's still going on. Kick to the in goal. Healey's got it down.
Yep.
Mitch Healey has got it down. And there's a right scrapping back play.
They're into it. And it's not handbags, this one. Robert Connolly turns around. He's onside, no doubt about it. He'll check now to see the grounding.
Fritz and Widnes defender O'Neill were scrapping in the back play, notice. But Healey was having nothing to do with it.
Stuart Spruce, no doubt about it, that's a try. What a great take. Stuart Spruce, he just stumbled. He was going down. This will be TOI.
Healey with the try for Castleford.
That's his second.
Yes, it is his second try. He hadn't scored for 12 months. He's got 2 in the one match, Mitch Healey.
Well, the one thing that Widnes paid the price was, instead of getting back and getting their defence sorted out, 2 of them was trying to become Muhammad Ali. Watch this, get on with it. What about your defence? 2 have gone missing out of the line. Maybe Spruce was distracted. Sometimes it's hard to disagree and have a little look at the fight.
Fritz. Okay.
And they were swinging while this man was winging.
Dale Fritz, number 12. Dale Fritz.
And the referee wants Dale Fritz, and I think he'll also want Julian O'Neill when the conversion is taken to have a word. His touch judge is on. But that was actually the 4th official. The touch judges have been on and reported to Robert Connolly. And he's calling time off because Mitch Healey's taking an eternity with this kick. But it's an important one.
McCurrie into the Widnes. Halfway, please.
Healey then with a very important conversion for the Tigers. Oh, he's having a blinder, Healey.
Halfway along, please.
Every point he scored so far, 16 for Healey and Castleford, 12 for Widnes.
Look at them, fancy a dance? No, we'll take the try. Great move, great kick there. Ryan Hudson's kick, and this man in for his 2nd try of the game.
Well, he's asked for Julian O'Neill, and he's got the wrong Julian O'Neill.
Julian O'Neill.
He's saying that there's 2 Julian O'Neills.
Number 10.
Well, he calls himself Jules now.
No, not him. You go. You go.
They're both taking a 10-minute stint in the bin. Jules O'Neill says there's 2 Julian O'Neills, Robert.
Well, he was involved there, wasn't he? Oh, look at that. We'll hear a little bit more about that, I feel.
No, I think that'll be it. And Dale Fritz, as he trudged to the sidelines, he said to the referee there was nothing in it.